Brought to you by Narrative Niche. Created and produced by Twisted Wicked Animations. Written by Jason Douglas Kurtz. GhostFlow. Faces in Dark Spaces. A Deviants II story. Evil awaits. GhostFlow moves like a rumor. She's in the shadows before you know the room has any, slipping through the cracks of the world's worst secrets. No real name, no face, no past. At least not one anyone's managed to pin down. All anyone knows is the work. Impossible jobs, the kind that make hardened mercenaries flinch, get done with a signature style so smooth, it almost feels like magic. If you're the target, you never even feel the wind change. She's become legend on the darkest corners of the web. The whispers started a few years back. A woman, always a woman, who could get anywhere, kill anyone, and vanish before the authorities even realized the body was cooling. She never took credit, never posted proofs, never bragged. Her work spoke for itself, neatly, cleanly, almost artfully brutal. She called herself GhostFlow, and the name stuck like a cold sweat. No one knew where she was from, or what she wanted. The hackers and codebreakers who ran the dark web's deadliest auction houses called her a necessary evil, a force of nature, one you paid well or not at all. The governments who needed things handled off the books learned to offer tribute, not threats. The rest simply prayed they'd never see her in the corner of their eye or in the reflection of their hotel mirror just before the lights went out. But the outside world only ever saw the surface. Inside, GhostFlow was a war zone. Every job was a negotiation, not just with her shadowy employers, but with the ghosts of her own making. She kept a ledger in her head, tallying up the marks, some monsters, some innocents, all necessary, or so she told herself. At night, she replayed the faces. Sometimes she saw her mother, sometimes her brother, sometimes herself. Each time she forced herself to look, to remember. She told herself it was penance, though she doubted she still believed in redemption. Her latest job was the kind she'd have refused a year ago, maybe even a month ago. But the nightmares were getting worse, and sleep was a luxury she no longer trusted. The job came in through one of her oldest channels, a burner account, a string of code embedded in a song lyric on a form only the truly paranoid used. The target was a war criminal, shielded by the world's most expensive security, living in a penthouse lined with ex-military muscle and facial recognition cameras. The ask was simple: make it look like an accident. The payout was obscene. The client was a coalition of governments that denied talking to each other, let alone hiring contract killers. GhostFlow didn't hesitate. She never did, not anymore. She spent 3 days mapping the building, counting every guard's footsteps through thermal images and hacked security feeds. She watched the target eat, sleep, and scream at his aides. She learned the rhythm of the house, the places where boredom set in, where alertness faded. She found the chink, always just one, if you're patient enough to see it. On the 4th night, she slipped in during a shift change. She moved between the cameras, hugging the blind spots. She barely breathed. The kill itself was quiet. No blood, just a whisper of a pressure point, a small glass vial, a technique she'd learned in a country she'd never speak of again. She left him slumped over, as if he'd finally succumbed to the stress. Doctors would call it a stroke. The guards would blame themselves. The governments would wipe their hands clean. She was out before the sun rose, crouched on the roof overlooking the city, breathing in the cold. Her fingers shook, not from fear, but from the aftershock that always came. The world below kept moving as if nothing had happened. She wondered, as she always did, if she'd ever be able to stop seeing the faces, or if she'd ever want to. GhostFlow checked her messages. Another job was already waiting, this one from a cabal of conspirators who'd never dare show their faces in daylight. She scanned the details. A CEO with too many enemies and too many friends in government, another faceless monster, or just another person caught in the machinery. She'd decide later. She always did. For now, she let herself feel the exhaustion settle in. She was half ghost, half woman, all violence and regret. She had no illusions about what she was or what she'd become. The world needed monsters, and she was happy to oblige, if only because it kept her running from the ones inside her own head. Tomorrow, she'd move again. New name, new job, new set of ghosts. She'd keep moving, keep killing, keep pretending that the ledger in her head would ever balance out. In the end, maybe that's all any of them could do. GhostFlow didn't believe in happy endings. She believed in survival and in the quiet between breaths, just before the next job began.